I have been reading in the book of Alma, and there are so many good one-liners in the scriptures that I just love so much. And I just wanted to talk to you about this, about Ammon, Aaron, Omner, and Himni. And um, they they went through a lot. They were missionaries for the Lord. And in Alma chapter 20, um, they had parted ways to go different ways to teach the gospel, to teach about Jesus Christ to people. And so Ammon was separated from the others, and he was inspired. The Lord told him where his brethren were and that they were being held in prison. And it's super awesome because he was with King Lamoni, and King Lamoni had said, "How did you know that they were there?" And I don't have the line right here, but he just says that the Lord told him. So they head out um, to convince the king of the land of Madoni that they should release his brethren. And he gets there, and he sees that they have been in really terrible conditions. And in chapter 20, verse 29, it says, and they had, at the beginning, and when Ammon did meet them, he was exceedingly sorrowful, for behold, they were naked, and their skins were worn exceedingly because of being bound with strong cords. And they also had suffered hunger, thirst, and all kinds of afflictions. Nevertheless, they were patient in all things. And as it happened, it was their lot. Um, I think that's amazing, and I love that. Nevertheless, they were patient in all their sufferings. And I think that sometimes there is a lie that Satan tells us, that when we are trying to do what's right and we're doing what the Lord asks us, that everything's going to work out. Now, everything is going to work out, but in what way and in what time and what that looks like is usually not what we think it is in our mind. And I think that sometimes people get tripped up. They lose their faith because from what they see and from what their definition was, things aren't working out. So I love their example that they had gone to be missionaries, and yet they were taken into prison, and they were naked, and they were hungry. I mean, they suffered a lot for the cause of truth and doing what the Lord wanted them to do. So the chapters continue on, and they have more experiences. I need to get a little more familiar with. I did read it, but to be able to recite the story back. But there's more challenges that take place. But in a lot of these chapters in Alma, like the heading of chapter 24 says, it's talking about the anti-Nephi Lehis, that they are visited by angels, and how beautiful that is, because so many times it talks about how the people were visited by angels. So hard things were happening, wars and people fighting against the believers, but angels visited them. And in multiple references, it talks about how angels conversed with them. So Ammon, Aaron, and Omner, and Himni are continuing to do missionary work amidst the challenges. And in Alma 25, verse 17, the last verse, at the very end of the verse, it says, I'll just read the whole verse. And now, behold, Ammon and Aaron and Omner and Himni and their brethren did rejoice exceedingly for the success which they had had among the Lamanites, seeing that the Lord had granted unto them according to their prayers, and that he had verified his word unto them in every particular. I love that line. He had also verified his word unto them in every particular. I think that's so beautiful. And I really have a testimony of the Book of Mormon, that it is here to help us and to give us something to look to in our lives and in our paths and in the things that we are doing. I think that oftentimes when we are trying, again, like I said at the beginning, when we're trying to do what we feel is right and what we feel like the Lord has asked of us, or sometimes just what's before us, what's being required of us, even, um, by the choices of other people sometimes, or by our foolish choices, or just, because the Lord's allowing it or asking it of us. It can be tiring, and I think that we can sometimes wonder where He is, or where His promises are, or what is going on, and why things aren't working out. But this story of um, the sons of Mosiah is so beautiful because it shows us that our lives are a journey, and that God does answer our prayers, and that He does verify His word in every particular over time, and through the process of a journey, and through the process of experiences. And so I hope that you'll think about that in your own life, and you'll know that He's with you, and He sees you, and He hears you, and that He's allowing you to become. The chapter heading of Alma 26 says, God has all power and comprehends all things. And I know that's true. I know that He loves you.